The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Like we always do it on the show, I have to talk about who we're going to interview today and where we are. But that is going to take some time today. Because if I start then telling you who we're talking about and what this company is all about, that will be the show. And then we'll go home and say, wow, it's a company that's in a lot of space. Even as I'm doing this introduction, the biggest worry that I have, or what I'm looking forward to, not even worry, is how the CEO today is going to manage in the next couple minutes to tell you what the company is in. Because it's a company that is touching on specific industries and sectors that are not essentially in one place. It's interesting, I'm waiting to see that. But what is special about this episode is I see the comments that you guys normally have for us on Captain's Arena. It's like, hey, we need to see more women CEOs on your show. Guess what? Today we are privileged. So if you go on your phone right now or your computer right now and then type RTG, Real Time Global Limited, you might see a company that has got a portfolio that is going to run pages, and that's what we're here today. Talk to the mind behind it, talk to the founder behind it, ask questions of who are you and what are you trying to do, not just within the Kenyan space, but in the global space. No one of them, Real Time Global. At this particular point then on this episode, I want you to join me in welcoming Lillian Athol, who is the CEO, founder, RTG. Again, we're just watching right now, that is Real Time Global. Lillian, how are you doing?
Thank you, Mr. Simba. Wow, that's a wonderful introduction.
It's befitting.
Oh, really?
Befitting.
Thank you.
Let me start like this.
Yeah.
For every other person who follows again what happens in the business space in the country or outside the country, you are the CEO of the year 2023. And it's not just a one that happens right here in the country.
No.
You are pitted against CEOs in Africa and then you emerge top. Let's begin like that. We're going to talk about RTG later on.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the award that is currently sitting next to you and how you essentially landed on it?
Wow. Thank you, Simba. Real Time Global gave me an opportunity to be the CEO of the year 2023 Middle East and Africa. So it's not just Africa. It is Middle East and Africa.
Guys, how do we clap on the show? I don't even know how to do it because I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah. So this was an opportunity that was actually built on my portfolio for years that I haven't been able to actually show to the world. But they took time to go through what I'd done and what I was doing, and they were impressed. And most of them could not take it like, how is she doing 7 companies in one? And I told them, well, it's easy because these are all my initiatives. Nobody came in and told me, start pharmaceuticals, start this, all my initiatives. So I can literally sit here for hours and tell you, I moved from one company to the other, and today sitting with 7 companies, and we all frame it up with Real Time Global. Then on that is that Real Time Global is not in Kenya only. We have our offices in South Africa, We have our offices in Dubai to represent UAE. We have offices in China. And we just recently launched our offices in Texas. So we are not just Africa only and Middle Easters now, because right now we're in Europe and we are in Asia.
That's an introduction, and that's exactly what I wanted us to start from. But since you mentioned it again,
yes,
let's talk about it.
Yes.
Can you take us back? And I was looking at your journey. I track you back to 2006.
Yes.
That's when this entire story all started. And we like to think with 7 companies, it started a long time ago. 2006 is not a long time ago. It's just recently. Could you tell us this idea?
Yeah.
What did it come from that I'm going to start a conglomerate?
Yes. I was barely 30, but I'd stopped teaching. I was a teacher employed by Teacher Service Commission. And I taught for 2 years, and I realized, wow, I have to repeat the same scheme of work that I did and the same work plan that I did first year, second year, and this is the 3rd year running, and I'm still given the same lessons. Well, I'm good at English, so I was a teacher of English, and I loved my literature, but I realized it wasn't my space. So I felt, well, I've done justice to education, and I needed to do something more involving.
After 2 years?
Yes.
After 2 years?
Yes.
Justice after 2 years?
Yes. After 2 years.
10 maybe.
It was enough for me.
Yeah.
So I started in a very different way. Yeah. I loved cooking. I cook as a passion. I love literally cooking food and setting up the dining table. I just love cooking. If you're my guest, you love eating my food. So I started off by a small cafeteria in an estate selling chips, smokies. That was the in thing for students from school. So they would come from school and they would queue right in front of my restaurant. That was a takeaway, the estate ones where kids are asking for chips and you're putting in a pepper and you're giving it out. Then I discovered that most people would walk long distance to look for groceries. So I brought in groceries in the estate cafe. And shortly I was doing cereals. So then I had the cafe and I had the cereals and I had vegetables. Something else was lacking. There was no meat. So next door I opened up a butchery. So that tells you already I had more than one item in mind. I was not going to be carved into one thing of just chips. So I had chips, I had groceries, and I had meat, and I had, cereals. And it's not easy. Remember, chips, you buy Farmer's Choice Smokies. Groceries, I had to be in Kikomba by 3 a.m. Beef, I had to be in Ruai by 5 a.m. as they slaughter. And groceries, I had, and cereals, I had to come back to Nyamakima within one day. I would leave my house at 2 a.m. I would be back at 7 a.m. ready to see my son off to school because
your first day of your first part of the day is done essentially.
Yes.
That's 5 hours on the line.
Yes.
So people work for 5 hours a day and they're like, okay.
And they're gone. So after 7, my son has gone to school. I would then fresh shower everything and sleep. Because we are in the estate, people start buying food at 2 o'clock. Most homes, even today, don't do lunch. No. Lunch is actually a remainder of last night's dinner. So nobody's doing fresh food for lunch. So people would start buying at 2 o'clock. So I have 4 employees, but they all go there in the morning, but I personally arrive there at 2 o'clock. And it's busy because all the nannies left at home are all buying food in order to prepare for dinner. So from there, I was invited to cook for the medical practitioners and dentist board, something that I loved because I was doing only organic foods. Even today, if you tell me my best meals are potatoes, cassavas, and no spices. We don't do spices. Even if today you taste anything from us, we don't do spices. So the doctors loved it. So we were on ground floor of the medical practitioners and dentist board. And, shortly after, we are supplying other government institutions with lunch. And one institution then asks me, we are looking for a supplier who can do our tours and travel tickets. Instead of starting to look for somebody to do tours and travel, Simba, you don't know what I did. I went and registered a tours and travel company. Immediately.
Also, you're like, business opportunity.
Of course.
But were you not afraid that this is not my space? Am I not?
I was not, because I was in the hotel industry already. So this goes with hotels. So I didn't feel scared at the time. These are people that are going to go for a tour. They want their air ticket. That is the only thing that sort of shook me a bit was air tickets, but I said, well, one or two people, can you give me air tickets? And yes, we can give you air tickets until you're ready for an IATA. And shortly after, I was issuing tickets. And I was doing their hotel accommodation, their conference, everything that they needed to do as an institution. Shortly after, people walk into my restaurant and say, you are the medical board. You really must be knowing where we could get our medical equipment. And I said, okay.
I'm laughing because I'm saying how you built your company to date, you know.
So I didn't consult as much as my husband, the chairman, is a pharmacist, but he didn't think of leaving his job to join me at any time. So I said, yeah, you know, I can get you somebody. I get them nobody. I registered a pharmaceutical company.
Ah, come on.
Not in the same year. I remember it's 1 or 2 years after, but I keep registering. So Real-Time Pharmaceuticals was born. And we strictly dealt with medical equipment because then I could not venture into the technical part of the pharmaceutical that we are in today. Today we are in the technical, and shortly in the year 2024, we are starting our own production of our own medicine now, because we've qualified along the years and we've been able to pull the chairman out of employment and tell him, you know what, this is what you studied in school, you must work for us here. So we now have a fully functional pharmaceutical company. So we get into pharmaceutical, and I have people who are friends. We would like to register companies in Kenya. How should we go about it? We have these things, we have accountings, we are in the UAE, and they come and sit. Now I then have a legal team already within. So I ask, what should we do? How should we assist these people? They say, well, consultancy. So Real-Time Consultancy is born. Basically for international clients who want to come and do something in Kenya. We are on which company? You're on the fourth, if you're counting.
Yeah, I'm counting. I'm seeing that story around developing as an opportunity after opportunity.
Thank you. So we are in China trying to see how to get our medical equipment and things like this, and I realized, wow, there's a market here. What market is there? People do not know or have a lot of fear transporting things to Kenya because they get lost, there's issues at the port, and all these stories. What is born in China? Real-time logistics. So you just bring us your goods in Turkey, China, Dubai, and we deliver them home. Fifth company. I sit down and I think, you know what? God has been good. How do I give back to the society? And Real-Time Foundation is born. Non-profit organization, strictly every first Saturday of the month throughout the year, we visit children's home. Sorry to be biased, I visit boys' children's home.
I wanted to talk to you about that, but I saw it in the right. I'm like, something specially about boys. I will be asking you about that later.
Yes. So Real-Time Foundation is born.
Yes.
Then in the love of now our guests who are coming from abroad and everything, and they're getting to the airport and they feel a bit insecure. How do we go about our security, our driving, and all these things? And Real-Time Fast Response Security is born.
To see that story.
Yes.
Later. Oh, I was a teacher, and then I opened a restaurant. After that, I was like, guys are asking for me, they don't have it, and I got into it all the way up to now.
Yes.
I'll give you that award.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be like, guys, what story are we looking for?
Yes.
The story is right here.
Thank you.
My name is Mary Gashahe. I'm a business development manager here at RTG, and I feel like asking our colleagues around, I feel like they can feel her value because she relates very well with us as the staff, and also matters client-wise. She's also good with clients. So I feel in general she's a people person.
Let me now go back a little bit then. You know what? The company has grown now into a conglomerate.
Yes.
You are in different markets.
Yes.
But your main office is still here.
Yes.
In Nairobi,
Yes.
Kenya.
Yes.
Somebody, you know how people say,
Yes.
It's a phrase I think you know very well.
Yes.
But you were saying, ukipata chance ya kutoka Kenya, when you get those wings, go.
Yes.
It's not a place for you. Could you tell me something about that?
Trust me, 3 days into the US, I'm missing home literally. I'm told you're here for 14 days, the company has to be set up, everything has to be done. I want to come back home, literally.
What is it about?
For me, literally, I have had opportunities of being out of this country.
Yes.
I was laughing the other day at the airport because they asked, you are always going in and out and in and out. What is it? I think I love home. And you may not know. Everybody looks for an opportunity to come and do something in Kenya, which we do not know. We have gold. I can never trade my citizenship for anywhere else. I'd rather bring all my business associates to Kenya so that they see what we have. We have something special. But for me, this is home. This is where I started. I do not want to lose the roots of what I started. And I want to be able to make the youths and everybody coming up in Kenya know that this is here locally. Yeah.
I'm still on you because I don't want to move away. Let's go back to that foundation now.
Yes.
And then you realize, God is blessing me, these companies are now growing and I'm right in the middle of this. I gotta give back to the society.
Yes.
That's when you start your foundation.
Yes.
But then it's just touching on the boy child. You know, they say women empowerment and all that. You know, that's a chance for me to talk to the girl child and empowerment.
Yes.
For you. Why the boy child?
The society has changed. And we have over-empowered the girl child.
No, you can say that again. Our producer will say no. It's a good thing that you're here saying that. For you, the person who's listening.
Let me tell you what the society has turned to be. Our girls are way up there. These girls cannot come down to the boys to even start families.
You know what? Next episode, we can even close, guys.
Yeah. So I tell people this every day. There was no way boys in the older societies would be, I want to use a phrase in Kenya, chips funga. Why does that happen today? Because the boy child has nothing. He's told mwanaume ni effort. Effort where? He tries his best, but the other society is fighting for the girl child. Is fighting. This boy is left literally down there. He struggles with his school fees. He struggles with life. He has to take care of cattle. He has to, which people do not know. Walk into these universities and tell me how many boys versus girls do you find who are being educated by CDFs? By Harambes from the villages. Trust me, it doesn't equal the girl child at all, because the girl child is already empowered. Everybody came to Africa running for the girl child and completely forgot about the boy child. I won't tell you what I witnessed. In my first visit, I visited a girl children's home just to try and see what they do there. They were in a hostel, sleeping on proper beds, proper clothes. My first visit to a boys' children's home was in Ngong. They were literally sleeping on the floor. The owner of the children's home was actually farming and doing every small bit of job to sustain his children.
Yes.
Nobody is thinking about the boy child. The boy child is efforts. The boy child can do it. Girls are delicate. They'll get pregnant. But are you thinking about this boy? So what you are leading the next society to, we're going to have no families. Because the girl is way up there. This boy who should be marrying her is way down here. Where does this girl go? To look for men who are on that
level, isn't it?
Thank you. The ones that she can reason with, because this boy is too low for her reasoning. I want my children to be able to have families. I want them to be the heads of families, just as it was in the Bible. Thank you for my bringing up, because it's Christian and I can say nothing more about it. It was father, mother, and the children. We were never taught anything different. So if the society would blame it on me, it is how they brought us up then. Catholic Church, who is the priest? It's a man. Muslims, who is the sheikh? It's a man. Why are we changing it? I know people have different understanding of the society, but my society is that we should come back and help the boy child.
Pretty much.
So as a foundation, as RUTO Foundation, we found the need to address the issues affecting the boy child. We found that everyone was running towards protecting the girl child, that the boys were sort of left alone. So we saw a need to impact into their lives. So what we normally do is every first Saturday of every month, we identify a home and visit the boys who are in those homes. We try and encourage them through word, through games and sports, things like that. It actually is something wonderful to work into, because having been in the foundation industry for quite a while, most either investors or people who are looking to empower people mainly focus on the girl child, which has been something from the early 2000s, the late 1990s, that the boy child was more or less and not regarded as much. So it's quite interesting area to look into. Even going into the children's homes for that deal specifically with boys, it's quite a task because there are not too many. So it's also a challenge when it comes to that.
I want to talk about this journey now, up to where the company is. Looked at that portfolio, and we said it would be the worst thing to be a CEO for that company. This is why we say so.
Yes.
You're not just in one line. You need
True.
security, you need
Yes.
tours and travel, you need to catering, all these other things, you need pharmaceuticals and all
Yes.
that. And you're talking about developing this particular space.
Yes.
And then, how do you manage? Did you have to go back and start relearning? For former school teacher, that has to be the biggest question for this episode.
Well, the only extra thing I did about a year ago is I had one of my board directors came and advised me and said, you need to do some finance, sort of catching up program, not an education program, just a finance program that would now let you be able to manage your companies, because as it is, you're an administrator, you're managing and you're all. But what is very difficult for me today, if I can tell you, is the letting go. I've had something called hands-on management.
Yes.
That if you ask me today, where is Tours and Travel, I can tell you currently they're working on 40 tickets of a group of people that would like to go to Rwanda. I would nicely tell you that.
At the top of it.
And literally, I have a general manager, you'd meet him, but I still have the initiative. It tells me, okay, you can take a rest today. I'm thinking, if I take a rest, I have my finance CFO who sits in Dubai, my international CFO, she sits in Dubai. One time she told me, you know what, RTG can survive without you. But after sitting with me for some time, she said, oh, RTG is literally your firstborn. it's not gonna work. You're so like, I'm not there, and I feel it's something is amiss.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Mambo ni mawili, kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we mse. Mbaya. Wewe kwani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya, lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time hata angalia barabara. Wewe, mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitapeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa twende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner.
What about mambo fantastic if not scholastic? Chota kuchota na Hatia Supermarket imerudi. Ukifanya tu shopping ya shilingi 1,000, wewe unaingia kwa promotion ya chota kuchota na Hatia Supermarket. Watu wanaendelea kushinda ndani ya Hatia Supermarket. Kitoko. Wewe na umeshinda nini? Yote. Hamsa, wewe unalala. Karibu ndani ya Hatia Supermarket uweze kuchota kwa wingi kabisa. Watu huko wanasema nini? Nakwambia kwamba chota kuchota. Unangoja nini?
Magari 7 za kushindaniwa, TV, fridge, microwave, shopping vouchers, school fees vouchers, instant prizes na zawadi zingine kemkem. Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Hatia's, Oven Fresh Bakery, Gigabyte, Mount Kenya Milk, Clover's Food Products, Velvex, Magic Drink, Pwani Oil, Arenco, Fruit Juice, Masterchef, Toilex, Coolsy, Mika, Wash Ultra, Philos, Prestol, Nivea, My Choice, Ushindi, Fresh Fry, Aribis Jelly, Cabernet Water, Dettol, Ketepa, Meta, Glucose, Coca-Cola, Rosy Tissue, Big Giant, Elbins, Unilever, Fresh, Unga wa Dola, Blue Band na Pasta Star. Shindano la chota kuchota linaanza tarehe 1 Disemba hadi tarehe 10 Februari mwaka 2024.
Hatia Supermarket, a world of choice.
I've had people in Kenya pushing for a 24-hour economy. If you want to work in a 24-hour economy, then your mind has got to work 24 hours a day. So I find myself sometimes in the middle of the night waking up doing one.
My next question.
Yes.
Have you ever woken up because you have to deliver in a different market is already awake when you're...
That's very normal for me. I think my day begins at around 3 a.m. Old habits. Previously, I think I've worked in the sports industry, I've worked in the transport sector, I've worked in marketing research. In transport, you don't sleep. It's 24 hours a day if you're the one who's running the show. So again, it boils down to then you having to manage your lifestyle in a healthy way, knowing when to sleep, knowing when to take a break. And being rested enough to be able to get up at any time and get the job done.
When I was receiving this award in South Africa, I'd traveled on my birthday on the 24th of July, and I landed in South Africa. And the next day, that morning, my advisor, my friend, my most compassionate person, my father, had called me to wish me an happy birthday, but he told me he wasn't feeling really well, but it wasn't anything I should worry about because it was okay. Getting into South Africa the next day, I received a phone call and said, Dad is dead. So I'm in between
It's a tough space.
yes. And all my staff, including my family, know that I am the winner. I'm the only one in this space who doesn't know. So my mind is next flight back home because Dad is dead. And I'm told, you know what? You're staying there until the function is over because whether you come back today or tomorrow, we're not going to bury today or tomorrow. And there's nothing much you're coming to do. You must receive your award.
How was that speech? And how?
It was dedicated to him.
What's that?
It was dedicated to my dad, and even the award itself, it was dedicated to him because a few weeks before he had visited and sat and wondered, what is this you're doing? Because all along you're doing business, this is not what I taught you to do. I took you to school, I've been a teacher, I've been a principal himself. My mom was a teacher, he was a teacher, so this is the in thing for any girl back then. I mean, education, it was two, either a teacher or a nurse.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yes, that was the most prestigious thing.
Teachers were respected in the society.
Yes. Mtoto wa mwalimu, tena ni mwalimu, things are sorted. That's it. So it wasn't an easy time, but I can tell you, it was one of the awards that pushed me. That I came from receiving that award and I didn't take leave. Straight to work. As I'm preparing my father's funeral, I would literally sit on my desk, work the whole day until I was told you need to go back home. And
you sort of coping
very well
with
work, very well. And because I thought I'd missed out a lot, the time I was out in South Africa and doing all these things, and people finish and there is the morning and I have to go and set up the office in Texas immediately after the burial. Because I feel if I am not there, it would not happen. I literally would tell you, I want this color of chair, I want it to put in this place. That's just me with my business.
You know what I said about teachers?
Yes.
My next question was about what is the value about you, you know, that keeps you going on a daily basis. But I'm trying to guess, my mom is a teacher. She used to be a teacher.
Yes.
You know what I say about teachers? The teachers are passionate.
Thank you.
Like you can't find a teacher by accident, like a teacher who's there.
Yes.
Decides that I'm going to be a teacher.
Yes.
It's about passion.
Yeah.
Lena, is that about you? The way that you're running on 3G, it's just about passion.
I think my upbringing could have sort of molded me into the passion of what I do today. A story that people laugh. I went to boarding at 5 years and 7 months.
Hold on.
Yes.
5 years?
And 7 months.
Why?
Because my parents were teachers, and during that regime, probably the Moi regime, they would wake up and be transferred right in the middle of the term. There was never, yes. In fact, I can tell you I didn't have friends. Why? This holiday you're playing with the Jacqueline and Sophie. The next holiday you're in a new environment. Before you get used to this environment, the schools have opened. You're going back to school. No letters, no phone calls to your classmates. You only meet in school for 3 months. Term ends, you close. You never meet again. I'm actually meeting most of my primary schoolmates now. And we have to like social media, Facebook. How do we, you know, sort of? There's no bound about it. We sort of just went different ways and did different things in our lives. So there was a very strict upbringing that said you had to do things correctly and on time. Catholic convent girls boarding schools are not a joke. You must be clean. Your things must be properly arranged. You must be on time, and you must be disciplined.
And silent and organized.
Oh my goodness. Thou, if you made noise in the morning before mass, hey, your day would be bad. If the bell for breakfast rang, our classes were up the hill, you had to run down because the matron was standing at the door of the dining with a whip. If you are late, woe unto you, you'll take your breakfast crying. If it was time for prayers, it was time for prayers. That's it. So it's sort of something I'm trying to get out of, but then again, I can't. I give you an appointment, I'm told it's 8 o'clock, I'm here 5 minutes to 8, and I'm a stickler of time. Yes, and now I'm trying to learn something to walk out of you or of your meeting if you don't show up in 5 minutes.
Why is my producer just be here? Here's the thing that I want to ask you next. I mean, the profile is now there.
Yes.
And somebody is then wondering when they're listening to you, you look like an example of a woman with resilience who knows that I'm going to make it.
Yes.
But you guys like it or not,
yes.
There's a plan behind it. And you're thinking, 7 is a number.
Yes.
Are we going to see number 8?
No. As it is now, what I'm trying to do is Christian-wise, 7 is a complete number.
It's a complete number.
I was born in the month of July, and I was born in 77. So I have all these 7s around me. It's a complete story. So I do not want to go. So that's the reason we have the consultancy, because then the consultancy can take up anything. Yes. So please, we are not starting a new company anytime soon. It's sorted.
But then the question becomes then, what is the next stage of evolution for your company?
Yeah.
What are you looking into? Is the form that is 7 are in currently going to be that for the foreseeable future?
I want to give you an example of pharmaceuticals. Right now we are doing sales and distribution as distributors to retailers and everything. So pharmaceutical is evolving. We are going into manufacturing. We are not just going into manufacturing local medicine. We are going into manufacturing of alternative medicine out of these leaves. Yes. Not mitishamba, alternative medicine. Who's manufacturing alternative medicine? East Africa.
This space, this vision that you have, like, let's move our companies in this direction.
Yes.
How is your mind feeling? Do you sometimes sit back and say, guys, I'm resting today? There's nothing in my mind about running this business, guys. I'm just there.
I used to rest in the golf course until I realized even that time of playing golf is no longer there. I played golf this year in Johannesburg. It was really cold because I love my golf. I'm not able to play even when I say today I must go to the course. I can't. Because now there's too much. There are consultancies, or there are people who are thinking, can we get into your company? Can we invest into your company? Can we do something with you? And I'm thinking, wow, I don't know if my vision about this company is what your vision is for me. Or we're going to have wars after 2 years, and I brought this and he brought. So I'm trying to make it a model of its own. A model that probably I may not enjoy, but my children may really, really enjoy, and my grandchildren and the youth. If you walk into my office today, I think I have less than 2 or 3 of my staff above 30. I pick literally youths from the time they're interns at the universities, and we build something very different. Yeah.
It was supposed to be the last question, but then I gotta ask you that question right now, out of exactly what you've said right now.
Yes.
There has to be, I don't know whether you've seen it, and I'm looking forward to that answer you're gonna give me. There has to be the end game. That has to be the end move, you know? If you're gonna call it the queen of running business, there's that final move. When you're saying, guys, final move. 2006 to date, it's not been a long time.
Yep.
When is it going to be a final move for you? And how is it going to look like when you're saying, guys, I'm out?
I want to retire at 60.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you have a plan for that?
I have a plan for retirement at 60.
Yeah.
And sit somewhere as the matriarch at the helm of the company and just watch it from afar. Queen of England, just watch what everybody else is doing and just make sure you're giving back to the society.
Which makes me think that you would want this business to remain within the family now. Are you training your boys and then, working with them and telling them, this is around my business, guys, I want you to sit here?
My firstborn is the director of operations here. He's barely 25.
Was that director of operations?
Yes.
It's going to be the youngest in the country.
Yes.
I don't want to look outside because I do
He's a properly trained pilot. But I pulled him out and said, now that you've finished, you're a pilot, you can fly the planes. I want you to come and find out about this business.
What was his reaction?
I'm supposed to make friends, I'm supposed to go to the US, I'm supposed to go. I said yes, because all I want to do, if something happens to me, God forbid today, that I'm not there, and none of you knows, none of you has taken time to know what mommy is doing, it just crumbles down. We want to be the JP Morgans, where it was started. If you read their story, it's from great grandfather to now grandchildren running it. That's what I've tried to look at it in Kenya. But the society tells me every time the patriarch or the matriarch of the company dies, the company crumbles. People are fighting for the wealth. Everybody wants these shares, So I'm giving. He's the director of operations, he's a trained pilot. He has a passion for security. He loves security. He loves, anytime I'm going somewhere, Mom, where's your security? So he's picked up the department for security, and he loves the tours and travel because it falls with him. My second born is a law student, and him is saying, I'm just coming to be the company secretary to make sure things are in order, Mom. So don't worry, we'll be there.
And it gives you warmth, knowing very well that they've seen it.
Yes.
And they want to participate.
By the time the chairman said, you know what, I'm joining you, I was like, oh my goodness, did it have to take 25 years for him?
You keep on saying the chairman.
Yes.
Is it that you're able now to separate family and business? That
very well.
Within you now?
Yes.
Without even saying my husband. I would have liked you to say my husband.
No. He's the chairman. And my son doesn't call me mommy in this office.
Oh, yeah.
How? The CEO. Excuse me, Madam CEO. I mean, that's how we roll. He's my son, but this is office. Yes.
Yes. I feel also she's a family woman, like she said. And I think having seen her, how she relates with the son matters away from home, treating him as a leader here in the office really shows a lot about her being a family woman.
We go by the philosophy that you need to do the right things the right way. And at the heart of our operations is investment in the people, because our human capital is the one that delivers the value to our clients. So we're able to deliver that value by investing in the right people and doing the right things the right way.
It's not what takes me to my next question, Lillian.
Yes.
Culture for this company. You know what I say? Put all of them in one region. It's easier for you as a CEO to get direct feedback.
Yes.
It's easier for you to monitor your customer reactions and client reactions. And then from there you'll be able then to talk about the culture that you want to implement in your company and monitor it, sort of safeguard it.
Yes.
If I ask you that question, for all the employees that you have in different markets in the world right now, you would like a specific culture to be associated with RTG.
Yes.
How are you able to do that?
We are building a culture of delivery on time.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's our culture. You give us a job, we not deliver it exactly when you tell us you want it. And so I don't take orders without time frames. Time. If you do not know how to keep time, then time will keep you. And when time keeps you, it means you have no control over your own time. Yes. If you keep time, I'm telling you, you're going to be in control.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that is deep. Time is money. So it's all about efficiency, because across board, across different industries, customers are looking for convenience. They're looking for efficiency. And we live in a world where I think people want their results instantly. So the companies of the future then, and you can see the biggest companies in the world, leverage on technology to ensure that they deliver services much faster to the people. And that is what is going to drive a success in the future. So if you are unable to deliver on time, whatever it is you choose, whichever service you pick, then you're not going to make it, because in business there's no number two, it's number one. If you are the first choice to the customer, you get the business. If you're not, you don't get it. So it's that simple. It's nothing out of the ordinary. We're just focusing on what many other businesses are ignoring, which you think that if it is there, they'll just buy it. No. If it is there on time, they will buy it. Otherwise, they'll change their decision and look at other options, because you're not the only option in the market.
What is this promise for RTG? The one promise that you're giving your clients in different segments that you operate in Leland. What is this one promise that you want every other client to receive when they work with you?
That we will always deliver whatever you ask us to do on time. That's it. Because everybody else, you tell them, oh, I need this urgently tomorrow, and they're telling it to you 4 days later. You know, I checked your email. Ours is an email sits onto your computer, you have to respond instantly. And if you cannot do it because you're busy doing something else, I'll easily get you an intern, or I'll easily get you an assistant who will make sure your emails are answered on time. There is no excuse for real time about time. Listen to our name.
Real time.
Thank you. Why real time? I would have taken my name, my children's name, and mix it together in real time. Not promised time, not coming time, real. Like the RTGSs in the bank, it's real time. It's supposed to be executed on that particular time. It's not tomorrow. So time is our key. And as the clock ticks every day, we all know, we all get here on time.
Yes.
And if you know you're going to be late, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, email.
For me, it means then you have to look at your processes, so that all your processes are meticulously arranged, so that you're able to deliver without what you call barriers to logistics. Okay? So it means then you have no room, you have no margin for error, because your work has to be properly planned. Otherwise, you will not deliver on time. What will happen is that then decision-making processes will start slowing things down for you. You understand? But if the whole work design is organized in a flawless manner, every member of the team knows what they're supposed to do and know their contribution to the bigger picture, then of course you'll deliver on time. So for me, I think that promise of delivering on time forces me to work more as a team player and less as an individual. And I think that is the big lesson that you can pick from it.
You know, my next question is relevant as well, because already your son is in this company as the director of operations.
Yes.
But if there's one quality, value today, so you would like your boys to grow knowing, just one, what would it be?
To keep time. Because with time, listen, with time you miss no opportunities. Yeah. If you can't keep time, you can't be on a flight. Why do airlines have time? And they don't care. Oh, I was at the airport 3 minutes before the flight will be leaving as you are watching. They keep time. And we have people, I've read Michelle Obama, I've read a number of people who said time made them get something or lose something. If you can't respect time.
You know what? Lillian, thank you very much for agreeing to do this with us. So the thing is, if you have any question about running a business, if you're thinking about security, if you're thinking about tours and travel, if you have a question about where your next pharmaceutical supplies are going to come from, if you're thinking about joining a foundation today to support a boy child, if you're thinking about, well, I've got one, that's how long it is, tours and travel, yes. You know what you got to do? Talk to our TG. I think that we will deliver in time. I kept on pushing her to say something different, but she's like, no, it's got to be about time. You know what? Time. If that is the question that you have, and then you have a business that is essentially running on time. Guess what? My name is Elijah Charles King. Thank you very much for being a part and parcel of this. And I'll meet you next week, probably, with another woman CEO. Lillian, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tere, mambo ni mawili, kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we mse. Nini mbaya? Wewe kwani wani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya, lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time hata analipa barabara. Mseni dereva tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe, mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
What about mambo fantastic if not scholastic? Chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket imerudi. Ukifanya tu shopping ya shilingi 1,000, wewe unaingia kwa promotion ya chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Watu wanaendelea kushinda ndani ya Hetia Supermarket. What tata? Kitoko. Hey, wewe na umeshinda
nini? Yote. Hamsa, wewe unalala.
Karibu ndani ya Hetia Supermarket uweze kuchota kwa wingi kabisa. Watu wanasema nini? Nakwambia kwamba chota kuchota. Unangoja nini?
Magari 7 za kushindaniwa, TV, fridge, microwave, shopping vouchers, school fees vouchers, instant prizes na zawadi zingine kemkem. Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Hetia's Oven Fresh Bakery, Gigabyte, Mount Kenya Milk, Clover's Food Products, Velvet, Magic Drink, Pwani Oil, Arenco, Fruit Juice, Masterchef, Toilex, Coolsip, Mika, Wash Ultra, Philos, Prestol, Nivea, My Choice, Ushindi, Fresh Fry, Arimis Jelly, Cabernet Water, Dettol, Ketepa, Meta, Glucose, Coca-Cola, Rosy Tissue, Big Giant, Elbins, Unilever, Fresh, Unga wa Dola, Blue Band na Pasta Star. Shindano la chota kuchota linaanza tarehe 1 Disemba hadi tarehe 10 Februari mwaka 2024.
Hetia Supermarket, a world of choice.
Kipindi ni ukulima ni mali na Manjoro. Kumbuka hapa ndipo unajifunza mambo mengi kuhusu ukulima. Kilimo ni uti wa mgongo wa nchi, na ukiwa na njoro unajifunza. Kumbuka, angalia mwenyewe. Tunakuambia ukitaka kujua tips za ukulima, ungana na sisi kwenye Lookuptv every Sunday. Unatukuta pale saa 10, tunakuonesha kuhusu ukulima. Ukulima wa mimea, ukulima wa ng'ombe, ukulima wa kuku, ukulima wa mbuzi na yote ambayo yanahusiana na ukulima. Kumbuka nini? Kipindi ni Ukulima ni Mali.